was left in the building after vandals had moved in. And he had lengthy columns like that. But someplace in there is a reference to the putting in the basement of the domestic science department.
Well, I read somewhere else that there was a curtain between the domestic science department and the manual training in the basement here. There was a curtain between them.
Yeah.
I recall when I hadn't started school yet, and they asked if I would come here, and I don't know whether it was a psychology class or whatever. I think they observed what I was doing. I don't know if they arranged things, and I don't know what I did. I just remember coming here as a child, and I don't know what class it was, but I was being observed, whatever I did.
And I did that also before I started school. My oldest brother was here at that time. And it was through him, I suppose, that I was brought in. And it was that same type of thing. I was just playing games with him.
So I don't know, I think there was only one or two teachers here at a time when they had high school in this building.
Well, it was Mr. and Mrs. Ludwig, the way I remember.
But before that,
Well,
I only read one teacher.
Yeah, one teacher up to that point. So that was in the 24.
Now, in your high school, were there more teachers? Did you have individual classrooms to go to? Three.
When the new school, high school was built in 1930.
The last 2 years, there were only 2 teachers. And Sarah Frazier, the principal at that time, became the basketball coach for both boys and girls. And there's reference to their good record. They won the county tournament that year. She was pretty proud of it. Gal from Missouri.
Now, Marjorie has talked to me about watching the new high school be built. You said your dad helped you get your Shetland pony.
I don't know, my dad helped me.
Oh.
I knew how to harness my Shetland
Okay.
pony.
And
They
you brought
had
up
a little cart. I remember driving down here to see the hole in the ground that they were digging to build the new high school in I think they dug the hole maybe in 29. I think the last class had here. There were so many people, you know, they were crowded. How they had a high school here with that many people, I would never know. And they decided they needed to build it. So they, I think, took donations up to $200 a piece for different families to build this new building.
So that was pretty exciting. I might point out that there was an outhouse involved in each of these buildings, right? Not running water in either building. So
I can't imagine
a
having
lot
a school
accomplished.
with no.
And yet, here in one of his articles, there's a reference to the state-of-the-art new high school building.
They built a new.
When the new high school was built, he refers to it as in the state-of-the-art building that was the envy.
There was a deep well built with plenty of water. However, I called Alice when we were first talking about this. I said, we had outhouses. Where did we wash our hands? We don't think we did. Where did we get our drinking water? We don't recall.
Well, on a typical school day, how did you get here? You talked about walking from up the road. Did you walk also?
Yeah, no, it wasn't as far for me to walk here as it did to, I had to walk almost twice as far to the country school, one-room school, the other direction. I was in Hartsock, Sharon number 3.
A few did have cars.
Some of those that were a little farther away. You know.
And were the cars belonging to the students, or did the parents own the cars?
Probably the parents, probably.
Most of them.
Or did the parents drop them off? Did they get a ride? No, they would have driven and parked
Yeah.
here.
Some walked a long, long way. Some walked a long way.
So So was it mostly community members that came to this school, or did people come from a little farther because this was such a,
There were quite a few came from Union Township, which is the next township
over?
adjacent to Sharon on the north. Quite a few came from the small
What is
areas.
it, the Black Diamond Road? Is that the one that some of them lived on? Somebody know where that is?
On Wyndham Road, the
Yeah.
Smalleys, Noling, Hal Noling came here, and I don't know where some of.
Kessel Rings?
Oh, where did this is?
How early did your day start?
I think it was 9 to 4 was the
I
class.
think so.
And you had a lunch hour, or?
Half hour. We all carried our own lunch. One of the questions that you'd sent to us, who prepared your hot lunches? The only hot meals we had was from the home ec class, domestic science foods class, was experimenting with something and making things. We got to eat. And the ox roast, those are the only hot meals, and the banquets we would have too.
But that school could not exist like that today, no way,
Oh.
no way.
In many respects.
But there were a lot of country homes did not have indoor bathrooms either.
That's
At
right.
at that time, probably. A lot of people did not.
So when you arrived at school, there was a formal starting time, or was
Oh,
there a
yes.
bell rung, or how did, everybody just knew? And then how did you shift from class to class? Did everybody take math at the same
I think there
time?
was a bell, wasn't there?
Oh, I don't remember the bill. Well, that was 80-some years ago. But we all had seats in the auditorium parts, you know, and then we would go to different classrooms for our different classes.
The auditorium served many purposes. It was not only the auditorium for entertainment.
That was our study hall.
It was our study hall, and anybody that was not in a class was in the study hall, unless they had gym or basketball practice. Basketball was the physical education part during the season, but then when that was not in session, then there'd be softball and regular gym activities. And we wore, in my time, blue uniforms.
Just for the athletics?
Yeah.
You talk about driving to school. I've got to tell this one. I don't know whether I should or not, but
Sure.
we, I think that was when I was a junior, probably. I ought to look up, see. We had, for just 1 year, we had this superintendent. He was older, not as old as I am now, of course, but he was older and he wasn't a lot of fun, really. And one day I was walking to school, and I didn't have too far to come, and I got halfway here, and Wally Fisher drove, and he came up to meet me, and he had, I don't know, 2 or 3 in the car, and he said, "Marge, we're all going to skip school today. Do you want to jump in?" And so I said, "Sure." So and we said we're going to Lake McBride, and we all had our lunches, and so we went to Lake McBride. And I know Jess and Lois Grout were driving too, and they came, and they had some more people with them. And I don't remember if there were other cars there. There probably were. And we went to and just entertained ourselves at Lake McBride for the day. And we came home, and you know, this guy, the superintendent, his name was Mr. McNeil, and we, behind his back, we all called him Pappy McNeil, or Pappy, you know. And I can't recall that we were reprimanded in any way by either the school or our parents. I think maybe they all felt that we were, you know, kind of stressed out. But I do remember that Lois and Jess Grout, I think it was, we heard afterwards, we weren't traveling together, that they had, I thought it was 2 flat tires on the way home, and they didn't have much money, and they had to contact their aunt that lived in Iowa City to get some money to get their tires fixed or tires to get home. But I can't remember being reprimanded in any way. We didn't have to stay after school. We didn't have to write a big essay about our day or anything.
I will not skip school again.
But it was a fun day. And we didn't have the same superintendent the next year then, so.
So you talked about your subjects. Did you take Latin? What kind of?
It wasn't offered. That was offered in 202 and 203.
Not-
But not
in my time.
Okay.
But we had, and sometimes it was like the freshman, sophomore classes together, and the junior and senior classes were combined. And we would, for many of the classes, it was a semester at a time, like geometry, algebra, one semester, geometry, another semester, biology, one semester, chemistry, sewing, and foods. And when I was in high school, one semester, the girls and the boys traded. The boys took cooking, and the girls were in the manual training room. And I still have the ruler that I made first, a 12-inch ruler, has proper marks, and a little corner whatnot shelf that I made.
Well, you had some classes that I didn't have.
Well,
you
I
came
don't
after
know if
me.
any others did that exchange.
I didn't have any.
And I think there was a sociology class, English, and literature.
We had
typing.
English literature, U.S. history, world history, government, social studies.
And that was all taught by 3 teachers. Although the music teacher, when Mr. Raid was there, his wife was not on the faculty otherwise, but she did the teaching, or the music. And
I don't know
someplace,
what we did before she came, because, I don't know, we had music before that, but.
well, there's always been music, and I don't know. And declamatory, and original speeches, which is part of the declamatory, I think. I never got into that. I had enough trouble with it.
Was choir, chorus a
There weren't
class
enough
then?
kids for a chorus,
Okay.
but we had sextets, mixed quartets, trios,
And did you do competitions with that?
yes, and there's in here someplace, Gerald,
Well,
my brother,
there was a voice quartet, and Miriam Pieper was a soloist, and they took first place in some state meet, and they got to go to Kansas City and came up second place in Kansas City, both the male quartet and the soloist.
Who was your biggest competitor as far as other high schools in the area? Like how far away were they? Basketball
Well,
was
let's
a
see,
big
about
competition.
6 miles west of here was Center High, I think.
Center,
In Washington Township.
Tiffin,
Kelowna, the
Kelowna.
biggest one.
Olds, was that just tournament? Olds,
Well, our biggest competitors for high school, you're being,
Yeah.
don't you?
Yeah.
yeah.
So did you compete not only athletically, you had oratorical contests, you had,
I can't even remember who we were competing against
You
in
know,
those, but
music
it would be similar,
contest.
yes.
Well, I think some from City High, I remember being at Sharon when we had declam competitive contests. And it was, you know, a small school really does have its advantages, because I looked through here and saw so many of the boys and girls that competed in plays, operettas, declam contests, that never would have at a bigger school. You know, they were just.
Everybody.
Lots of,
because your classes were small, did everybody do each thing? Was everybody out for basketball? Was everybody
not
into
everybody, but a
a
large
city?
percentage of them were.
Marge, my mother, her quote on that was, I said, "You play basketball?" And she said, "Well, everybody had to play or we didn't have enough people."
That's right, some years that's true.
We had some pictures of, I think Sharon has them over there.
Yeah.
Of our, that's the 38, I was in that. And that's when we played 2-court basketball in my day, 3 guards and 3 forwards. And we thought we were pretty good. We won a lot of games, we did, and we had a lot of fun.
Well, here in this early history that Ludwig wrote in 1946, there's a picture of the boys and girls team and the band And in this